The news spread rapidly on social media like a major headline. ScHoolboy Q will officially be the opening act for Kendrick Lamar's Grand National Tour in Australia and New Zealand this December. This brief announcement, Q will open for K, carries deeper meaning beyond just a ticket upgrade. It suggests a revival of their long-standing friendship, a symbolic transfer of influence within the TD hierarchy, and a deliberate recognition of West Coast heritage on a global platform. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your take on the story. Imagine entering Sydney's Allianz Stadium on December 3rd or Melbourne's AMI Park on December 10th, surrounded by thousands of fans. The crowd knows Kendrick is about to make history again, but first, ScHoolboy Q from South Central takes the stage. The vibe changes. This isn't just an opening act, it's a statement. Kendrick is indicating that the narrative goes beyond him, and he wants Q to help shape the next chapter. This moment is important because Kendrick and Q have a deep-rooted history. In 2025, Kendrick and SZA will embark on their record-breaking Grand National Tour, already the highest-grossing hip-hop tour ever, with ScHoolboy Q joining the Australian leg as a continuation of their legacy, rather than an afterthought. Q's involvement is purposeful. It reaffirms their Black Hippy origins and emphasizes Kendrick's role in Q's career development. In interviews, Q has credited Kendrick with saving his life and boosting his confidence, right down to the foundational lyrics that contributed to TD's rise. To truly understand the importance of his opening act, one must reflect on the past. In 2018, Kendrick, SZA, and Q toured together on TD's first label tour, the Championship Tour, where the entire Black Hippy collective performed across North America. That spirit of unity is now being revived in Australia, but on a grander scale. Kendrick and SZA are at the forefront of the stadium tour, while Q serves as a connection to West Coast history. In essence, Kendrick is bridging different time periods. ScHoolboy Q represents the era before Kendrick achieved superstardom, the hustle of street albums, the breakthrough with Oxymoron, and the loyalty of Black Hippy. Now, Q is at the forefront of Kendrick's stadium success, reminding fans that their journey began in the same tough environment. To understand the scale of this tour, consider the Grand National Tour so far: 46 arena and stadium dates across Europe and North America, over 1.1 million tickets sold, and more than $256 million in gross revenue by mid-June, including several record-breaking shows, like the $14.8 million gross in Seattle with 60,941 attendees. The collaboration between Kendrick and SZA has created a groundbreaking model for hip-hop and R&B touring, emphasizing teamwork over solo performances. Kendrick's decision to slow down the Australian leg with a hometown collaborator like Q carries deep significance. This also reflects a shift in how Kendrick views memory and history. He has transformed from being just the main performer to taking on the role of curator. By choosing Q to open the Australian leg of the tour, he signals to fans that this success is a shared accomplishment rooted in friendship and creative collaboration. Fans on Reddit expressed their excitement, calling it poetic justice. Comments like that giving Q a chance on global stages he helped elevate, and it's a full circle moment. Q opens in Australia, Kendrick goes worldwide, emphasize how this decision resonates with their nostalgia for TD's history. At the same time, ScHoolboy Q's own body of work is substantial. From Colored Greens on Oxymoron, featuring Kendrick, to Blank Face LP, Crash Talk, and the recent Blue Lips, 2024, Q's consistent authenticity and performance elevate him beyond just a supporting act. He embodies affirmation. He represents the West Coast street ethos, intertwined with introspection, complementing Kendrick's psychological artistry. To translate this narrative into a script format: Open, a December night in Melbourne. The massive floodlights at AMI Park dim. The air buzzes with anticipation, the crowd knows what's coming. Enter ScHoolboy Q. The beats drop. He performs Colored Greens amidst a smoky atmosphere, seamlessly transitioning into that part and other tracks. He sets the physical and emotional tone, gritty, energetic, full of West Coast flair. He creates an atmosphere, not through aggression, but through his commanding presence. By the time Kendrick and SZA take the stage, the audience is fully energized, thanks to Q's performance. Kendrick doesn't merely enter the crowd, he engages with them in their heightened excitement. The shift from opener to headliner is intentional and well-crafted. During the show, visuals showcase collaborations from Black Hippy, memorable moments from past TD tours, and brief quotes about loyalty. The link between Kendrick's current stadium success and Q's foundational influence is expressed through a narrative montage that evokes emotion rather than relying on words. A reviewer in Melbourne later remarked, "Q set the stage. You could feel him earn the right for Dot and SZA to follow." Another reviewer at the Sydney concert highlighted Q's entrance as a standout moment. When Q came out, thousands sang along to lyrics from Oxymoron in that part. By the time Kendrick arrived in the Buick GNX, the night was already set. Q is an ideal opener not just because of their shared history, but also due to his ability to engage the audience with raw energy before Kendrick's more theatrical approach. Kendrick weaves stories in layers, while Q offers immediacy, a crucial contrast that shapes the emotional experience of each night, moving from spontaneity to precision and from endurance to structure. This pattern suggests that Kendrick is purposefully choosing tour collaborators to reinforce legacy connections, Q in Australia, potentially different openers in Latin America, and so forth. He's not merely organizing concerts, he's also crafting narratives of legacy through his choice of collaborators. This decision is also strategic from a business perspective. In Australia, the media emphasizes Q's participation. He has a track record of selling out mid-sized venues independently. Now, as the opening act, he gains visibility in stadiums while reminding fans of his ongoing significance. Kendrick, in turn, evokes nostalgia and continuity for TD. There's also an emotional dimension to consider. Q has publicly thanked Kendrick for his guidance and support during difficult times. For Kendrick to revisit this narrative, especially in Australia, demonstrates his commitment to honoring their relationship while showcasing personal growth. This connection is not just transactional, it's profoundly personal. Critics have noted that Q's presence brings a sense of humility to the tour. It's not just Kendrick receiving applause, it's a platform that recognizes the community. In a time when rap often emphasizes solo artists, Kendrick sharing the stage with Q reflects values that go beyond individual fame. On social media, one fan commented, "Watching GDP set records while Kendrick still acknowledges Q, that's what makes TD feel timeless." Another fan noted, "He's not just the biggest anymore, he's the curator of his generation." How long has this been in the works? According to Hot New Hip Hop, the announcement came shortly after Kendrick confirmed his stadium shows in Australia. Q's participation wasn't officially confirmed until July or August, when Instagram posts and Reddit discussions validated the news. By early August, various platforms like r/hipheads, Threads, and High Power had reiterated the information, confirming its accuracy. In script format, the middle section details logistics and background, dates, venues, and historical connections. The subsequent scenes capture fan enthusiasm, Reddit conversations heating up, and hip-hop news analyzing how Q's involvement aligns with Kendrick's narrative strategy. The climax builds toward the live performance, the audience at AEMI Park, Australian fans singing along to Q's lyrics, leading into the vibrant atmosphere of the Grand National. In the final act, reviews compare the two performances. Q sets the tone with his street gospel and energy, while Kendrick conveys the night's central themes of legacy, identity, and visual commentary on his rivalry with Drake. Q's presence emotionally prepares the audience for Kendrick's deep metaphors. The show wouldn't feel complete without that opening act. Looking ahead, when Latin American dates are announced, Q may not be the opener. However, in Australia and New Zealand, he plays a vital role, transitioning from an internal star within Top Dog to a bridge between different eras. This geographical context is important. Australia has historically favored Kendrick and SZA at major festivals, including Q in the stadium tour adds a local element that enhances its significance. In the final scenes, the script delves into the theme of emotional resilience, with fans expressing thoughts like, Kendrick honors his roots. Analysts note that stadium tours often neglect the importance of origin stories, but Kendrick and Q have changed that perspective. Q's role as the opening act serves as both a tribute and a statement. Achieving success doesn't mean abandoning one's roots, it means uplifting them. This narrative wraps up with a wider cultural insight. Kendrick is reclaiming narrative identity by acknowledging his community collaborators. Q's position as the opener is more than just musical support. It symbolizes a restoration of importance. This is why fans highlight the significance of the moment, why discussions on Reddit refer to it as full circle TD energy, and why the live performance in Australia will be remembered not just for Kendrick's performance, but also for Q's dynamic opening. Ultimately, Kendrick's collaboration with Q in Australia represents more than mere logistical arrangements. It shows how tours transform into narratives. Stadium performances do more than entertain, they tell stories. Kendrick constructs, reflects on, and honors his journey. ScHoolboy Q's role as the opener carries a deeper significance than simply being a supporting act. It signifies validation. This is why the announcement that ScHoolboy Q will open for Kendrick Lamar on the Grand National Tour in Australia and New Zealand feels more like a declaration than a promotional statement. Kendrick is not traveling alone. He is bringing his community and his history along for the journey. As the lights dim and Q steps off the stage, he leaves behind more than just his music. He sets the scene, establishes a groundwork, and builds up the excitement. By the moment Kendrick arrives on stage, the story has already begun to take shape. 2 performances, 1 narrative, a legacy enhanced. Australia and New Zealand are ready to feel that energy. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.